Practice exercise 21-2A is talking about contribution margin. The easiest way to figure out this problem is to look in your textbook and to write out how they have this laid out, which is sales minus variable cost equals contribution margin minus fixed costs equals income from operation. So in 21-2A, it says United Merchant Company sells 4,000 units at $60 per unit. Variable costs are $45 per unit. And fixed costs are $40,000. So we're going to multiply these out to come out with the ending numbers, and then we'll see what they're asking for. 4,000 times 60 is $240,000 of sales. The variable cost would be 4,000 units times $45, which is $180,000. And that would give you a contribution margin of $60,000 less your fixed cost, $40,000, gives you income from operations of $20,000. And this formula for income from operations is found in your textbook. So part A says determine the contribution margin ratio. Well, for every item you sell, you're going to sell it for $60, and your variable cost, which means cost per unit, is $45. Therefore, you're going to make $15 on each unit. So, contribution margin, the ratio, you can figure out a couple of different ways. One is you can say $15 divided by 60, which is the total sales price. If you say 15 divided by 60, you're going to come out with 0.25, which is 25%. Or you can look at the big numbers. You can say 60,000 divided by 240,000, and you're also going to get 25%. Which means that your contribution margin, how much you get to keep out of that sales price, is 25% of the sales price. So that's your contribution margin ratio right there. Okay? B, the unit contribution margin. Well, we've already figured that out. The unit contribution margin is $15 in this problem. And C, the income from operations, we figured that out at the very beginning. Income from operations is going to be $20,000. Practice exercise 21-3A talks about the break-even point. Says that Gregory Enterprises sells a product for $80 per unit. So $80 is your sales price. The variable cost is $55 per unit. While fixed costs are $20,000. Determine the break-even point in sales units and the break-even point if the selling price were increased to $87 per unit. So the first thing we need to figure out is how much money do we make off each unit? Well, if we sell it for $80 and the variable cost per unit is $55, then you're going to subtract those out. You're going to say 80 minus 55 is $25 per unit, basically, that you get to keep to help pay your other bills, okay? That's called the contribution margin. It's not total profit because you still have fixed costs, so you can't keep all of it, but it's what you have to work with after you sell your product, okay? Contribution margin is $25. So now we know our fixed cost is $20,000. So we're going to divide the fixed cost divided by our contribution margin of $25. And let's see what we get. 20,000 divided by 25 is 800. So the answer to A is 800 units. Now, part B is saying, well, what if the sales price is 87? Well, if the variable cost remains 55, then your contribution margin is going to be $32. If your fixed costs remain 20,000 divided by 32, then the answer to B is going to be 625 units.